walk out to choosing bikinis, where we strip down life, toughest issues to its core truth. So today we're going to be talking about this topic. Why does everybody hate feminism? There are so many people, when you just mention feminism, they're looking at you like one kind person like that. If you're telling someone, oh, I'm a feminist, they're like, oh, this one wants to fight, this one wants to fight men, this one is like this. I remember telling a guy, okay, a guy asked me, are you a feminist? I'm like, yes. He said, I beg you, I don't want to promote, I don't want to. And the same thing with his friends. His friends were like, feminist car. So there are some people, when they just hear the word feminism, they're already, shaking, or they just hate the word feminism. They just hate a lady claiming she is a feminist. So, and it's not just men, there are ladies who hate feminists. A fellow woman hearing someone say a feminist, and like, this one wants to fight her husband when she finally gets married, or if she eventually gets married, or this one don't even want to get married at all. So there are so many misconceptions about feminism, and so many things, or let me just say maybe wrong information people get to know about feminism. So why does everybody hate feminism? Why do people hate feminism? Why do they hate feminism so much? Because I think a whole lot of people who lack proper understanding of what feminism is all about, they tend to hate that word feminism. They tend to hate people who claims they are feminists. So okay, I want to ask, why do people hate feminism?
Well, I think it's a combination of issues in a way. So I think it's a combination of them not understanding what it fully is. Not like both people feel the same thing as if like just different demographics of people. Okay. There's the one that doesn't like feminism, that they don't understand what feminism is. They don't understand what it fully entails. Don't understand what it means. They confuse it with misandry. And then the other demographic of people that know what it is but simply do not care for it. You understand? They genuinely just view women as genetically inferior to men. So, and that's their final take. There's no arguing with them. There's no explaining to them. As long as you're a woman, you are deemed unintelligent. You are deemed stupid. So I think everybody hates feminism. The misandrists that move towards, we hate men, men are useless, this. That's a reactionary thing, because after all these years of repression, obviously everybody will be reacting very badly. But that now becomes this like misplaced thing of like a lot of emotions and a lot of anger and a lot of bitterness. And they translate it as, okay, these angry women that, it just means you're an angry woman who hates men. That's the ignorant side of the spectrum. You're an angry woman who hates men, point blank, period. They don't bother to educate themselves on what feminism is, what it means. It's literally just equality of the sexes. That's all. That's what it is. And a lot of women don't even believe in feminism. They believe in misandry. They genuinely, oh, women are better. Women should be the ones at the top of the food chain. We are this and we are that and we are everything. And they themselves aren't even feminists, and then they would go with feminism. I was like, oh, I'm a feminist. So even some misandries that haven't fully realized, oh, I'm a misandrist too, I'm not a feminist. They take the feminist name as well. Also, in other parts, this thing is also this confusion feminists have, where they want to reap the benefits of patriarchy, but they don't want to dismantle patriarchy completely. They want to keep the sides that are sweet and fun and enjoyable, right, to them. So and they're not really willing to fight the patriarchy all the way. So that now leaves men not even taking the feminists seriously. So I thought you were a feminist. I thought you were fighting for women's rights. But even in that vein, I feel like it can also become a weaponized thing where these men actually, they are just using it to say, oh, I don't want to pitch in as much, and you're a woman, so, and you're a feminist now, go and do this one and do that one. But I think for a long time, like, we've already realized that two income households are what is stable. You understand? Two income households end up being what works for a lot of people, because the economy is really hard, and depending on one income for the entire family. It's very, very difficult unless that man is very rich. So yeah, like I said, I think it's two sides of the spectrum. People that generally see women as inferior, they hate feminism because they don't like feminists. They don't want women to have rights. They prefer the oppressive nature of the past. And the people that don't know what it is, don't understand, and like in this myriad of confusion of what exactly feminism is and what are we actually fighting for, you get, there's a little bit of a confusion. There is the people that are feminists or use the word feminist but don't really fully understand what's going on, or the people that are insult using feminists like, oh, you're a feminist as an insult, or I don't want anything to do with a feminist without really understanding what is going on. So I think that's why.
Um,
Okay, thank you.
so
Let me hear from you. Why do people hate feminism?
I think it's basically most of what Matabella said already. The fact that most people don't fully understand, don't fully get the definition of the whole movement itself. I mean, it's simple. The fact that people don't get the definition, and then there's on another side, there are men who just um, traditionally, culturally, Nigerianly, men were not taught to accommodate women that much. So the idea that, oh, a woman can now also be, go to school, can attend certain levels, can come to certain heights, can vote, can has the right to vote, can go to school, can get to any level she wants to, can make a lot of money, can have access to property, to land, anything she wants, is kind of like alien to them. Like, okay, so, and when she does that, so what? There are men who still believe that a woman who has a lot of money cannot be their wife. Like, they can have women like that in their house because they can't deal with a woman actually having a voice of their own. Over time, women have been taught dependence. Women themselves have been taught. In fact, there are women who also feel this way, that women should constantly be dependent. There are women who think like that, and there are women who also do not like the idea of feminism. Yeah, they have like, oh, this thing is distorting the whole ecosystem. It shouldn't be, and all of that. Anybody who's trying to do that is fighting nature and all of that. So I think it's basically, on one side, there are people who just do not understand what it means. Well, perhaps from encounters with people who of course also do not understand what it means and who have gone about it defining it the wrong way. And then on the other side, there are people who genuinely do not like the idea of women being independent, who genuinely do not like the idea of women actually having a say, having a voice of their own, and not depending on men or depending on anybody at all, who genuinely do not like the idea that a woman is a full grown human being who has the right to things. They can't wrap their minds around it, they can't wrap their head around it, and so they just kick it out like that thing is nonsense. There are people who think that it's demonic, it's a demonic movement, it's against Christianity, it's against the core. There are people who think like that. So I mean, we may not be able to help some people, but I'm sure that there are people, if they come to understand the real definition of these things, they would probably appreciate it better. Thank you.
They think some of them think feminists tend to overlook men's struggle. Yes, they tend to overlook men's struggle. So when they see men, struggling or complaining about anything, they just feel that, oh, these men are overreacting. So they feel that the feminists only pay attention to women, whereas they just ignore men's struggle, men's sadness, the pains men go through. They don't even care about men at all, that it's only women. So that's like they're like, okay, so that means if you don't care for us, like all you want to do is only women, women, women. So they feel that men, the feminists don't care about men at all. And then they also feel that I saw somewhere someone said that feminists who ask for equality only ask for equality where they know it benefits only women. That in a place equality where it benefits men, that we feminists don't want that one, that they only want the one that benefits women. So let's say for example now they have home chores, that oh they'll tell you oh 50-50 oh, so that they can also assist the women. But when it comes to a situation where it benefits men too, that feminists don't want that one, that all they want is just for men to suffer and for women to enjoy. So that is just how they view how they view feminism, like for men to continue suffering to the final end and then women to enjoy to the final end. So no matter what a man is going through, no matter how deadly his situation is, that feminists they don't care. So if a man commits suicide now, they'll just be like, ah, that one, maybe he has done all the atrocities and he has finally decided to leave this world and then he's gone. But if a woman commits suicide, oh, it's because of a man. It's a man that caused this. Look at it deeply, you know that it is a man. So they just feel that, oh, feminists don't just want to, when it comes to men, they don't care. They don't just want to give, they don't even want to give a thought about it unless it's their fellow women. So they feel that feminists attack men, they don't care about men, they are basically for women. So when they just hear the word feminists, they're like, oh, those ones. And another thing, maybe some bad experiences, like I think someone mentioned that the bad experiences some people had with maybe the feminists. We have extreme feminists. So maybe one of those men maybe had some bad experiences, because like we all know, if we happen to have experiences with someone, maybe a bad experience, and then we now tend to hear of someone mentioning that thing, you might still kind of look at that person again, because let's imagine we as a woman, as women, we've been in a relationship or normal friendships with a patriarch, and then we are treated badly. And then all of a sudden, we now meet one person and is now saying, oh, I'm patriarch. Oh, no, we would not even want to, or an alpha male. We wouldn't want to, get to do, like, have anything to do with that kind of a person. So I think the same thing is applicable to maybe feminists. So there are some people who have an ill experience with feminists, might be a misandrist, who are like, those very tough ones. So when that man finally, escape from that, and then he's not seeing a woman saying, oh, I'm a feminist, not even wanting to understand, the concept of this feminism, not even caring about, like, does not even want to know this particular feminism. All he knows is that, oh, another palaver, I'm not ready. This one, that was how I met the last one. That last one nearly destroyed my life, and this one is saying she's a feminist again. I know true. I hate them. So sometimes it also has to do with their experiences. And then I also feel that, they said bad eggs does not allow the good ones know, does not allow people know the good ones. So there might be some people who might just, some women who can just jump into, they just have their own initial gra. So they just jump into feminism and say, oh, I'm a feminist, and they use that to display their usual gra. So everybody might just think that, oh, this is what feminism is all about. Whereas feminism is equal rights. Women shouldn't be treated, should be treated fairly. Okay, so they won't be treated ill, like in an ill manner because she is a woman. They are paid, they are not allowed to go to school, all those things. So that's what feminism is trying to fight for: women's rights, women's empowerment. People are saying, oh, women should not work in marriage. Feminism is trying to fight for all those things. So some people are not aware, they are just focused on the aspect of the battle between a man and a woman, men and women battling each other, social media, shouting and blasting. Whereas we have the main goal. I think the whole thing is that they don't just understand and they are not even ready. And there are some people, like Mary Tabel said, there are some people that actually understand what feminism is. They don't just want women having that, they don't just want women having that, they are just happy that a woman is suffering, a woman is beneath. like, under me. That's just another thing. So there are people like that. They don't even want to see women succeeding. Even some religion don't want to see women succeeding in any way. Okay, so that's my take. And then I would like to ask this question. Um, how do we make people understand feminism? Because I think some people do not understand feminism. So how do we make them understand? Because if they don't understand something, they might just go with the misconceptions of what they know. So how can we make them understand what feminism is all about, and what procedures can we even take to reach out to them and for them to get to understand those measures? Thank you.
You know, that knowledge is so easy to come by these days. It would be gross negligence or just pure I don't know what to call it, for someone to say, "Oh, I don't understand this thing doesn't make any sense to me." Meanwhile, you can just go to Google, or you can just take a stroll to YouTube and watch a video, and it clears you about stuff. So, I mean, feminism was just simple, basic. A woman is a full human being. Like Africa, I think woman no be complete human being. Like, so they don't get the choice. They don't have any choice. They don't make any decision. But feminism is saying a woman is a full-grown human being, as in with rights, and those rights should actually work. Like they have the right to live, they have the right to education, they have the right to vote, they have the right to make choices. Like they have the right to work. They should have equal opportunities to go to work as well. You can't say, oh, because you're a woman, you can't get certain opportunities. It's wrong. Or you can't say you because you're a woman you cannot vote or be voted for. It's no longer acceptable. So a woman can contest. So I mean that's what feminism just said. Okay, let's have a level playing ground for everyone. Like it's not like okay, I'm a man. I don't become a man because I'm allowed to go to school. I'm not a man. I don't want to be one. I like being a woman. But every time a man sees you and it looks like you're actually making decisions for yourself now. You're actually behaving like a human being now. You don't have to pass everything through someone. You don't have to wait to be told what to do. You don't have to just like, oh, I can't move here because I mean I have to wait to collect. No, you don't have to do that anymore. Like women are choosing that okay, I don't want to stay married in this situation again, and they're saying, no, it's feminism, you're listening to too much. But someone is about to be, someone is being abused daily, and because they're able to go to work, because they have the opportunity to actually make their own money, their finances are better, so they can make certain decisions. Unlike those days when our great grandmothers and even mothers, some mothers stuck around despite being abused by the men they married, and giving such an example to the men they raised as the example of a faithful or a good wife. And that's not happening again. Women are actually saying, oh, sorry, oh, it's like I made a mistake. Whether I keep your children, let me go and come first, or I go with the children, and I so that I can have peace, or so that I can just be alive first. My pastor used to say that the covenant of life is greater than the covenant of marriage. And so women are getting the understanding that they can now make those decisions. They don't have to get stuck in one place. You can go to work. You can make as much money. As in, there is no cap to how much you can make anymore. As in, there is no cap to what kind of business you can do. You can do the business. You can do any business you want to do. Oh, that idea that a woman's education should end in the kitchen is not working again. And a lot of people are not liking it because it's cheaper, it's affordable to have a woman who just doesn't know what to do, who just like waits for you, like depends on you for everything. It's cheaper, it's affordable, you can do anything you like to that kind of person. And I mean that's one of the major reasons why a lot of men kick against it, because it looks as though women are not being submissive according to the idea of submission. when they are able to make the certain decisions by themselves. Yeah, but what we had those days, I don't know what to call what they had those days. In terms of the kind of wives they married, I don't know the kind of examples that those women gave, because what we had was not real. Like, the woman just stays in one place and waits for a man. If the man doesn't give him food, give her food, she doesn't eat. If he doesn't take care of the home, she can't help the family. Okay. If he does, like, if the man chooses, I mean, I heard a story of a man who used to not want to fend for his family, but he had like whether two wives, and of course, wives had children. So, I mean, he wanted the wives to go fend for their children. So this man would legit carry all his things, put in his own room, lock. Whenever he wants to eat, he will just scoop maybe one a cup of rice or two, call the one of the son's wife and say, "Go and boil this thing for me. Don't tell anybody. Just go and boil, go and make this food for me. Make it like this and bring it back." And of course, the girl would do that and serve him. But the children were hungry out there. This guy wasn't ready to take responsibility for his family. And that's what they had those days. Like, these women stayed because they didn't have any other, like, there was no other options. I mean, those days women were not even sent to school as a priority, except maybe your father was educated and a little bit exposed before you go even go reach secondary school finish. It didn't happen. They didn't go to school. And so, I mean, feminism came to liberate these women and set them free from such bondage. And if women understood something like that, they would know it's a good. I mean, even men would know it's a good thing, because if you have a woman who is free to make certain decisions, then there's no height that family wouldn't go to. A woman who can assist you if you need 1 million naira because she's working, because she can give you that 1 million naira. She can help you build the home. She can. I mean, you don't even have to always be around. I mean, all of these women that you have to wait for the man to call before you can call plumber because water has stopped running in the house. It's not working. And so, I mean, when they say men used to die early, why wouldn't they die early? They die earlier than their wives. Why not? Why won't you die? Because you are the only one. You are up, you are down, you are behind, you are in front. I mean, the ones who were even responsible, the ones who chose to even be a little bit responsible for their family. So, I mean, basically, feminism just says a woman is a functional human being and should have access, should also be have those rights, and those rights should work, like right to live, right to speak up, right to make choices, right to go to school, right to vote and be voted for, right to make money, like opportunities at the workplace. There should be no limitation, just like there's no limitation for the men. There shouldn't be limitations, and it doesn't even make the woman a man. Like I said, it doesn't make you a man. It just makes you a human being. And that's it for me. Thank you.
All right. I don't know. From my end, when Emma
Okay.
girl asked,
Sorry,
how
I
can we
got
convince
disconnected.
people? I don't even think. Okay. I don't think convincing people is the move now. Sense that everything to try and convince people has been done. Everything to try and explain, like said, there's information on the internet. If you choose not to learn, you've chosen not to learn. If you've chosen your path, you've chosen your path. Obviously, in your real life, just try and educate people, because people are so ignorant, and educating people might be the difference between like having I don't know, having that support for the movement, because the movement can, very easily be upturned. Like it can be people, whether it's your community or people around. Yeah, well, like we live in a very misogynistic country as it is, and we've already seen so many cases in which, they are not selling property to women, or people are disregarding or treating women a certain way just because of their gender, and they don't believe that they belong in that space. So we still have cases like that. So the way to move forward is try and talk to people, but best believe if someone is still ignorant about it, if someone outrightly says I hate feminists, there's no way of really moving them. Just like in this 2026, there are people out there that are openly racist. They know racism is wrong. Slavery has ended. Jim Crow has ended. No matter how much you try to explain to them that I'm a fully functioning, my brain is working even if I am black. Black does not equally mean trenches or whatever. They will still treat you like you're less than. As a person that has been online and in different online forums, you get. I have experienced racism firsthand. You would think by now they would get the message that this is not a right way to behave. People will see your face, call you the N word 2026, 2025, 2024. They don't care. They don't want to improve. They don't want to change. They genuinely think this behavior is right. They genuinely, and they have made their biased decision. There's no explaining to them, no showing how educated you are. You are just black to them. And that's sadly the truth when it comes to feminism and when it comes to women. There are people that no matter how educated, how proven you show yourself to, how much you be like, oh yeah, this we are fighting for women's rights, you are just a woman. They've just automatically label every thought you have as stupid. That's it. Even if it comes from a book, even if it comes from, there are some men you talk to and you notice, they don't rate your intelligence. They don't rate it at all. So, yeah, I think those people. There's no convincing them. There's no convincing a lot of people. A lot of people have made their final decision. They don't care, and they are still moving, and they want the dance low brain, low vibration woman that doesn't believe in fighting for rights and generally has that low belief about women as well. So, I just don't really think there's any much convincing that can be done. At this point, if you want to educate yourself, if you want to learn, do yourself a favor and learn. Do yourself a favor and learn. Feminism is not even just about women, it's also about men. It's about dismantling triarchy. It's about dismantling the harmful systems that the patriarchy has set up. Whether that is, men cannot show emotional vulnerability, which in turn turns back to harm women at the end of the day because all these, I don't even know, bottled up emotions, bottled up lack of expression over the years becomes a reactionary thing. It's not a safe environment to live in. Whether it's men males male essay not being taken seriously because a man cannot be assaulted. Men themselves don't even take it seriously. I think that one is a situation like you said, feminists only care about women. When women try to go and care about men themselves will be rejecting the care, be rejecting the kindness most times. That's why I find women minding their business, staying in their lane, whether it's celebrating the Women on Women's Day, trying to fight for women's rights. They don't want to go too far because the men themselves will fight tooth and nail, even if it's detrimental to them to uphold these systems. Most times, you try and involve yourself in a conversation. Oh, men, this happens to them. You see men themselves being enemy of progress to them, their own selves. A lot of them, because this system is deeply internalized. Hopefully the ones that want to see the light, that can see the light, can show them the light, try and hey, patriarchy harms you too. Patriarchy harms you too. And I hope you know that. Just but most people, when they've made their decision on something, when they have chosen a way to move, that's how they just choose to move. That's how they choose to interact with their life. So changing them is not really much of an option, or changing their opinion may not really be much of an option. Talking about it, expressing, these things and expressing these injustices. Because some people don't know. Some people don't know, and that's true. Some people want to learn. And expressing to people that want to learn specifically. I remember this guy telling me something about false allegations ruins men's life, right? If you notice, a lot of men are obsessed with false allegations, getting falsely accused of SA, because apparently if a woman accuses a man wrongly of SA, it can ruin his life. And to be honest, real allegations and real accusations barely get prosecuted. I asked him, I simply just asked, because to the internet, very big. I simply asked him, how many guys do you know that their lives will be ruined by a false allegation of SA? What is breeding is that, oh, when a woman gets SA'd, you know, you should be fast to think not telling the truth. That's what you're perpetrating. You should be, because she's probably trying to ruin the guy's life. You understand? Not saying that that doesn't happen. It does happen, but it doesn't really result in anything. I asked him, how many guys do you know have gotten arrested, gotten tried, their life is ruined, they don't have friends and family anymore because someone falsely accused them of SA? He couldn't answer me. I now told you that me, women that have gotten SA'd in my life, and the people that did that thing to them, nothing has happened to them, and nothing will ever happen to them, is more than 10. You understand? I had to put this metric for him to see. And most times the internet will make things very, very big, bigger than it is. Even if, yeah, that's a real issue, famous people and all that, women faking accusations, but most cases don't even get convicted unless straight that assault has happened. There's camera evidence. There's evidence of the fluids. So that means that has to be very close to, maybe within the hour of when that thing happened to you, and you rush to the hospital and they've done a kit and everything like that before those cases are even taken seriously. Most girls that come out and talk, to the point that girls, when this thing happens to them, you just want to go and cry and try and heal. It's not a system that favors us. And so I explained that to him, and that's when he now starts like, oh, saying, okay, maybe it's actually like this. I don't think they even fully understand the horrors and the terrors of being a woman sometimes. So it's just constantly trying to remind people in your life, remind people around you, explaining these things to them, like explaining the reality, not just the overblown internet drama version of things. Not just the overblown internet drama version of things. So, that's how I say I educate. But mind you, people that don't want to be educated will not be educated. They will refuse it. They don't want it. They don't want to grow because they have accepted it. I think that's also something to take in mind. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. The very last thing I'll have to ask, what advice would you give to anybody or anyone hating feminism right now? What advice would you give to that person? Anyone that is hating feminism, oh, I dislike feminist, I hate feminism. What advice would you give to that particular person? Thank you.
I don't know. Should we advise them? Like, you hate to, you like oh, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know that it makes a lot of difference. I mean, what would make a lot of difference is for women to actually come to the understanding that they are liberated. They're free to earn, they're free to go to school, they're free to attend any heights they want, like every other human being. Now, if you hate that idea that a woman is liberated, I can't help you. Sincerely cannot help you. When you want to get married, go inside interior of the village and pick the latest small, virgin that doesn't know road. Bring that one to the city and marry it. Because if by the time women, because if you carry they will show you shege. Because just stay away from them. My sincere desire is to see women actually be liberated. Like, I'm not even saying be a man, be like a man. We are not men. Me, I'm not a man. I don't want to be a man. But be a woman and be understand that you have certain rights and you should live your life to the fullest potential that you can. Don't make excuses. Don't have regrets. Yeah, like, you can make mistakes, but don't live in that risk. Don't let it, like, oh man, don't forget about it. Or they say, oh, if you're 30 you will not find a husband. It's okay. If you don't find a husband, just live your life as a happy single. Do you know how many married people who are trying to get out? At least don't put any cap on your life. No matter where you find yourself, understand that I'm a woman, but I'm first a human being before I'm a woman. You're first a human being, and you have the right to live to your fullest potential. Do not let anybody bring you down. Do not let anybody talk you down. Don't. That is not the time where they used to tell women, sit down there, behave yourself, submit, and submission women. I heard a woman complaining about the husband and saying something like, "Oh, he thinks that when I start working, I'm going to like bring all of my salary to him." And I was laughing. I was like, "Does this kind of thing still happen? Like go carry salary and then everybody carry go something?" No. Well, I mean, dynamics are different. I understand, but and I bet a man just talking to women and be like, "Oh, I'm your head. You have to something." I kind of feel like every time a man has to say, "I'm your head," something is wrong. Like you have to be saying, "I'm your head. I'm your head." Like you said, see there's something there wrong with that, with that kind of this thing. Like every time you're having to remind your wife that you are head, you behave like head now, so that you don't have to be reminding everybody that you are the head. you know. So so I mean, I heard him and I'm looking at him like, what is this one? Like, because why are you doing this? And so I think that my sincerest desire is to see women actually be liberated. Like women have that understanding. No matter where you find yourself, make sure that you live to your fullest potential. Make sure that you don't have any plans for regrets. Whether you're married, whether you're single, whatever choices you make or whatever you decide to do, make sure you do it to the best of your knowledge. Like leave it all. Like don't let anybody tell you. When somebody hates the fact that you are married, let them just pass. Like if you start defining feminism to them and she start encouraging them to be good, I would not be able to encourage you to be good people. Just be people that you are aware of, that you know that you can press when need be. I mean, for me, what my concern is just women know exactly what it means and know that you can live your life to your fullest potential. You no excuses, no regrets. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, please, Tabel, what would you say to anyone hating feminists and feminism generally? What would you say to such a person?
I would say go and open a book, read a book, educate yourself, understand it. If you're ignorant and if you're not, well, may God be your help. I don't even know. I don't even know. There are people that they don't care about oppression unless it's happening to them. They don't care about negative things unless it's happening to them. They lack empathy, and it's a very sad thing. I think we need to be looking out for each other and trying to protect one another as people in a community, and trying to understand the pain of others as well, so that we can. I think, and that's the way we can have a peaceful society. Where people are not really being, because you're in a position of power, and you because of that, because you're enjoying, you refuse to see the pain of others. It's a very disgusting mindset. I wouldn't want to talk to that kind of person, talk less of advise them. I'll get very, very angry. I've had conversations with people like this time and time again. I'll get angry, and it's not even the type of, because the way they'll just talk, the way they'll try and silence you, the way they'll try and reduce everything you said to something stupid. It's sad. It's a very sad type of. It's a painful thing to witness just how low these types of people think about you. You try and explain to them, you try and talk. Oh yeah, this is the way it is. This is how I see it, and they just berate you. And they're not intelligent too. They're not intelligent. You're not an intelligent person if you cannot see that women should have rights, people should have rights. I don't think you're intelligent. Maybe you are. Maybe you're evil. Maybe you're smart. Maybe you're intelligent. Yes, but you just you're intelligent. You're aware of the power dynamics, and you just want to keep that power in balance. Sure, maybe, but then there's no advice I can give them. I'll just say open a book, go and read about it, go and see if you change your mind.
Okay, thank you. And I'll also say was the same thing. If you are hating feminists right now or feminism generally, and go and make a proper research of what feminism is all about, their goals, what they want, and how they want to empower women. Just go and make a research about feminism. And if after making research about feminism, and then you still hate feminism, you still want to see women being belittled, you still want to see them being treated unfairly, then I would say go and hug the available transformer, because what? So you want to see women now suffering all the time. Ma'am, where is your case? I don't have anything to say to you. Just go and hug transformer. But if you don't understand, I would advise you just make a research, but you shouldn't be hating feminism right now. And then with that, I think we've come to the end of today's session. Why does everybody hate feminism? So thank you Metabel, thank you for your input, everything, and everyone watching, thank you so much. And then if you have anything to say, if you have anything to just bring into this particular topic, and then anything to counter, anything to support, just drop it in the comment section. And then do well to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to our channel. We are on Apple, we are on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Facebook. So do well to follow us, subscribe to our channel, and then bye. We love you.